Yo, what's up, yo, we gonna slow it down so we can speed it up, y'all. Right now, I want everybody to come to the front. That's right, move forward. I want all the poppers and the breakers to form this circle. I want all the poppers, the breakers, the writers, and the exciters.
Peace, what's happening? Yeah. Welcome to another visual caffeine. Yeah, the grass is green on this side, this ride. Yup, we take you on a new ride. We got some special guests in the place. DJ Too Fast, he's in the place. On the ones and twos, he's in the place. Peace to my man, his name's Dr. Strange. Word up, Visual Caffeine. My name is John Robinson. Thank you all for tuning in to another great episode, Visual Caffeine. Peace to Sen16. Peace to Lady Elix. My name is John Robinson, and we live in the place, Visual Caffeine. Peace. This is John Robinson. Right now you're tuned in to Visual Caffeine. Thanks for tuning in. VizCaff.com. We have a special guest. Definitely. We're very pleased to have her here. This is a longtime friend, comrade, MC, and so many other things. She'll definitely give you more info about her journey from the beginning till now and beyond. I'd like to welcome one of my juggernaut brethren, Queen Herawin. Welcome, Queen Herawin, please.
Hello, everybody.
Yes. Queen
Thanks
Herawin.
for having me, Visual Caffeine.
No doubt. Juggernauts fan.
Yes.
You know, indelible MC.
That too.
You know what I mean? And, you know, just all around cool cat, you know, like straight up educator. Let's talk about, I want to go somewhere because the other night you had a release party.
Yes.
You know, the new project. We'll talk more about that later.
Sure.
But let's talk about, there was something mentioned there that I thought was dope. You know, Juggernauts, it's a family crew.
Yes.
You know, your two brothers. And I overheard on stage, Breeze was saying, yeah, man, I had to find out, like, from other cats that my sister was rhyming, you know? Like, they like, yo, your sister's killing it. So take us back to that time. Like, what was that like to really, you know, like, is that how it happened, where you were rhyming and they kind of found out later?
That is kind of how it happened. I think from probably his recollection.
No doubt.
But for the most part, yeah. I think, you know, I may have been doing some things and spitting some verses, but I think they didn't necessarily register in Breeze's brain because they weren't fresh enough yet. So I think that's how he remembers it. But I do recall perhaps maybe spitting a couple of verses for him.
Okay.
But yeah, they didn't digest. So I think it was invisible. Invisible, very Ralph Ellison at that particular time. So yeah, you know, I was really honing the craft. I just started writing. I really have been writing since I was like 12.
Word.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you do the history with most of us MCs, that's around the time you start getting involved in it. And Breeze always brings up the story about me rhyming at a Sweet 16, which I did. Shout out to Tisha. Hey, Tisha.
No doubt.
Here.
You did mention that, definitely.
Yeah. So, I think when I did that event, which was at her Sweet 16, and grabbed the mic, I had on a pretty dress and things. People weren't ready for that.
That's what's up.
And it caught them off guard, but in a good way.
Wow.
And I think from there, the accolades on that level at least, created a little bit of a local buzz. And Breeze was like, oh, word, you doing things?
That's
Okay.
what's up.
All right.
what's
You're
up.
still not ready for us yet, but that's nice to see you doing things.
No doubt.
I started rocking with Gypsies around probably a little bit after that,
Okay.
yeah.
Word. For all y'all who don't know, the Gypsies,
Yes.
crazy super classic underground.
Yes, shout
crew.
out to MFW,
No doubt.
7 and Virginia women. It was actually
Absolutely.
quite expansive. Yeah.
It was expansive,
Like
and
the
it
female
was
Wu-Tang.
it was definitely a thoroughbred movement.
Yeah. And shout out to Anomalies because it was really happening concurrently as well. You know what I mean? We were doing our thing out in the Bronx and, MFW and 7, and then traveling out to Virginia and doing things with the females out there. There's about 4 of them out there, Jagged Edge, Gongali, quite a few.
No doubt.
And back and forth. And I mean, it became a little bit difficult to do that juggle for a variety of reasons. But at that same time, much respect as well to Anomalies, who was doing it out here by the time we started really doing official shows.
Absolutely.
And things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, and still rock, shout out. I mean, yesterday was
Absolutely.
co-hosting with Mozzie at the event at the album release party.
No, the
So
movement
still doing
is
it.
definitely still alive and well.
And fresh.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
We're talking about growth.
Yep.
We were talking about growth earlier. I want to ask a question. We were talking about you in this early period. Just for the sake of knowing, did you have like a favorite that inspired you when you were writing early? Like, who would you consider your favorite at the time?
At that time, I mean, of course, there were so many that I was inspired by. I mean, we used to, I was saying this the other day, after school, come home, it was Bob Ross.
No doubt.
And Video Music Box.
No doubt.
And that was the daily regimen after
Definitely.
school. I remember it well. But I would have to say one of my personal favorites, and it wasn't just one, but identifiably as a female, MC Lyte.
Word.
And Queen Latifah.
No doubt.
I mean, it was like, MC Lyte they had obviously 2 very different styles.
Totally.
And so there was a lot that I could appreciate, but then, I mean, there was so many. Even then, I mean, there was Yo-Yo.
Definitely.
I was a big fan of that. It was something else totally different coming from the West Coast, a whole different vibe. She had the box braids, swaying. IBW with my crew. And I mean, it was very fresh.
It was
very fresh. You know what I mean? And then Boss, major influence for me too. I mean, so there was a lot going on at that particular time, but I'd have to say my favorite was probably Lyte.
Dope.
Yeah.
Much love to Lyte.
Yes, absolutely.
So as we continue this metamorphosis, so it's early on, you're spitting, the local buzz is growing. At what point do the Juggernauts crew actually start to say, you know what, this is the secret weapon? Like, what are we doing?
You said the secret weapon.
For real, because that's how I've always interpreted. Like,
that's really
the Juggernauts, the Jugs, but
Right.
once Queen Herawin came in the crew, it was more like, yo, if I open this gate, it's over. It's
Right,
like, boom,
that's
you open
funny,
the gate,
Dale.
Queen Herawin comes through, and it's
I've never heard that. That's a good one. The secret weapon.
That's how I felt.
That's what I'm gonna go back home and be like, y'all are now gonna call me
Yeah.
the secret weapon.
Secret weapon.
No more Queen Herawin.
Definitely.
Secret weapon. Yeah. I would have to say, around that whole time when the opportunity came for right before the Indelibles. I would say it was right around that time. I mean, they were doing a lot of work. Obviously, they had already done the Clear Blue Skies album.
No doubt.
I mean, I was around them
Absolutely.
as much as I could be.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Being the youngest one out of all 3 of us. So anytime I could get in, I'd be there.
No doubt.
They'd hear stuff obviously at the crib, but writing rhymes and doing what you do here and then getting on stage like here. It's 2 different places.
Very good point.
You know what I mean? And so I think that was another aspect of it too. Honestly, one of my first shows was by myself. I was 13.
Wow.
And I think Fever was like, she got a little beast in her.
Dope.
Yeah. And that was a while back. Like, I believe it was like a Redman show or something locally. It was interesting. And I don't know, just a part of me that came out. And a big influence was also having, Breeze and Fever there.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you live around that, it's osmosis Jones. It becomes
Absolutely.
part of you. You live your environment.
Absolutely.
And so you have things innately, and then you have things that you take on. And it became part of that. It was a combination of all of that. But I think around that time, probably for me, like around age 16, 17, which is when I basically did. I'm putting my business out there in the streets, but
Right.
it was around that time that I think they were like, okay,
Dope.
yeah. I would say definitely 17, because it also had a lot to do with school, and they were like, you know what, you can't just come in the shows in high school. So my last year, that precipice between senior year in high school and my first year in college, that's when I started doing a lot of Juggernaut shows, or at least the introduction. They were like, okay, she's not just ready, but they didn't want to interfere with the scholastic part.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. So let's talk about that, because that's like a perfect transition. You
Cool.
know, you're literally from a family of educators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom. My mom's a teacher, retired
Absolutely.
now, but teacher. Fever's a teacher. Breeze is a teacher.
Okay.
I'm not in the classroom currently.
Yeah.
My classroom is here. Welcome, students.
Absolutely.
Who I learned from as well.
No doubt.
But I'm a certified teacher as well, so we all bring that element. And honestly, let me tell you, man, being a teacher, there are a lot of similarities, let me put it that way, with performing, because you are on stage.
Agreed.
And as well.
Agreed.
As an educator. So, it's very impromptu. You're freestyling. You may have a lesson plan, which is the equivalent of your rhyme. Okay?
Exactly.
And you have a book of them.
Yep.
But when you get on stage, classroom, there's certain things that you may have the scripted aspect, but then there are X factors and elements that are going to come into play with the students who didn't eat that morning, who's this, who got beef with that one, who don't like this one, and they not dating no more, depending on if teaching middle school, high school, whatever it is. So there are all these different elements that play a role into it. Just like if you're on stage and somebody's acting up in you know what I mean, out in the audience.
Absolutely.
It's very, very, very similar in the basic core regards of what you're bringing and your persona and how that interrelates with the experience.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So this is my classroom for the time being.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Nah, this is one of the best classrooms.
I love it.
Definitely.
I love it, man.
So the Metamorphosis. This is a project. The new record, the new album.
Yes.
We've talked off camera about it.
Yep.
I've gotten to listen to it, jam to it.
That's
I
good
got
stuff.
favorite songs off of it.
Awesome.
And I want to say, number one, congratulations on completing it. Because I
Thank
know
you.
it was a process.
Man,
We talked
oh
about
man.
that.
Yes, it
So,
was.
Give us a little bit, you don't have to talk about the entire process, but give us a little bit about what Metamorphosis is about.
Well, I'll tell you two things. What it was about initially was me really starting the project where there was no real cohesion. It wasn't really connected. I was doing joints. I love tracks, so it's like I heard a track and I went with it. I heard a track, I went with it, but it wasn't connected at that time for me.
Got it.
And then Breeze did a track, which became Committed.
Yeah.
And Committed it was as if in doing Committed, it was like, there's something here that I said, but more needs to be said. And it's not going to happen within the song because the song is done.
No doubt.
But now, how can I still express this through other songs, through other voices, on other tracks?
No doubt.
And so from there, the theme started to develop.
What?
And it was weird. I was getting all these ill signs. I was in Baltimore. Shout out to Curry, one of my sisters from another mother, father, and we were just out there chilling. Went out there for a couple days, and we were in some like little spot where they had some old vinyl, just thumbing through vinyl, and came across an old, I believe it was, it might have been an old Beatles album or I'm saying that off the top, but basically the album was Metamorphosis, and by then I had already titled the album.
Got it.
And so it was like weird. I'd be getting all these ill signs, or I'd go somewhere, a butterfly just chilling on the floor, and it was like, okay, all right, I got it.
No doubt.
All right, I'm working on it. I'm on it. And so for me, this journey and this transformation and this change really started to occur right before my eyes, but it was about things that I was going through in my life. And I was just talking about the changes and how it changed me. And I realized the other part really about it is that after completing it, there'd be times that I'm like, man, whew, I'm feeling this day, I'm sluggish.
No doubt.
I'm tired, and then I'd listen to the album like, oh boy, okay, let me live what's on the, what's in the car, Push. And I'm like, you want to do it, you want to say it, you got to be about it. And so a song like Push came back as a reminder for myself, like, okay, I don't care how tired you are, you need to push, you need to get up, you need to do what you need to do.
No doubt.
And so, that helped me in the transformation. It's about it every day. There are days that are up here, there are days that are mediocre, there are days that are down here, but at the end of the day, they're all real gifts.
True.
You know what I mean? And it's trying to see that in it, regardless of what's going on the surface, and really scratch beyond that.
True.
Yeah.
So with the metamorphosis happening, it's this change that's happening.
Yeah.
How much do you feel you've learned from these changes?
Oh man, I've learned so much. I mean, I'm so humbled by it. What I do really believe, and I mean, it sounds cliche and all, but it's true. Love, man. Love is seriously the transformer of all transformers.
No doubt.
It is.
No doubt.
I
Love
mean,
is the answer.
the journey for me was about a lot of self-love, a lot of, hey, you are kind of fresh. Hey, you need to forgive yourself for some things. Hey, you need to push harder. I mean, and I think there are things, that's why, yes, female artists, but it's very universal. And we were talking about that a little bit a moment ago, where the ideas are universal.
Yes.
And I really don't care who you are. You could act like, oh, I'm good every day. You're not. We have our days, and then other days the swag is on 110%. Exactly. And you're like, yes.
That's real.
So it is about constant transformation and checking in. And there was an aspect, too, of course, of spirituality as for me, and that aspect of love. My daughter, which really was the catalyst for all of this. The album wouldn't exist as far as what it is. You know what I mean? It might have been a different album, because this is what I do and who I am, but for what it is, because of her. And that was my major transformation. So I continue to learn, JR, every day. You know what I mean? It never stops.
Dope.
Yeah, it never stops.
Dope.
Yeah.
So we can't leave here without talking about your visual arts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So when did that start for you? Were you always painting, or?
You know what? Again, very similar. I mean, the poetry and the rhyming around age 12. The same with the art. If anything, I probably would say that the art was there a little bit earlier. Shout out to Chantrice, one of my little friends. I haven't seen her in years, but we were in school together in the Bronx, elementary, and she did a dope little piece. It was like something in school. Word. And I thought I couldn't do it, so I was like, yo, can you do that for me? She drew a rose. It was like for a card, Father's Day, Mother's Day. And from there, I was like, oh, damn, I'm not that fresh. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I had to check myself, because years later, I went back to that and had to really understand that you have to be careful what you tell yourself.
No doubt.
Because the arts was always in me, too, the visual. But I didn't think so. I didn't think so. So I used to do a lot of abstraction because I thought I couldn't draw. And then I drew and I realized I can. Wow. You know what I mean? It's That's something dope. You got to hone, but you know what I mean? So yeah, the album actually, I had an art show at Raw Space. Shout out to Raw Space in Harlem, where we actually had an exhibit where each piece corresponded with an album, with a song on the album. So it was cool. So I've been doing that for years, and curating too on the side. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I always love to hear, just what my comrades do outside of the realms of what we do.
Almost definitely. Live, Yeah, the art is a big part. Yeah.
So I have another question. I ask this question not a lot, but I always like to know this stuff. So you could work with an artist outside of hip hop. Any artist. Who are you working with?
Outside of hip hop. You know what? You know whose name? I don't know why. Well, she's dope. That's why. But popped into my brain because I've never really thought of a collaboration with her. But just in the way that a lot of things are going now musically with collaborations, Esperanza Spalding.
Wow. That'd be dope.
I think that would be where I am right now.
No doubt.
You know, with what I'm trying to do and what I am doing and what she's doing, and she's obviously a lover of hip hop as well. I think that'd be a really funky collaboration to do, like some real jazzmatazz type stuff.
No doubt.
That would be fresh.
Esperanza,
Get at me. Get at
yourself
me.
down here to Visual
Let's
Caffeine.
do it. Get your. That'd be
that's dope.
that might be a really dope collaboration. It would be. I'd love that.
Dope.
Yeah.
So, Queen,
yes.
let's talk to people out there about how to find you.
Okay, that's a great question. So everything this time I made sure to be consistent.
No doubt.
And I say this time like I've done this before. I've been so bad with social media. If anybody who really knows juggernauts, they're like, how do we find you guys? Smoke signals, like it's horrible.
No
We've
doubt.
been really bad. It's just the truth. It is what it is. You can't pretty it up. So, but I'm doing better now.
Absolutely.
I'm a reformed introvert.
I agree.
So, yes, you can go to Facebook, you can go to Twitter, and you can go to Instagram, all under the same name, which is The Queen Herawin, spelled Herawin.
Yes.
Herawin. The Queen Herawin. And it's all the same across the board. You can also go to QHTV, which is the YouTube channel. And the video for Return of the G is actually up there.
No doubt.
So you can check that out. Shout out to Abe and Joel on that with the production
You can check
aspect.
that out next, right here on Visual Caffeine.
You could do that.
Yeah.
It's right now. It's immediate. It's best.
We're going to do that.
Yeah.
So, yo, Queen Herawin in the place, Visual Caffeine. Thanks for blessing us, talking to us.
I appreciate
Obviously,
it.
we're going to put up all the social media info.
Please
Let
do.
people know where to find you.
Yes. I have to do
Metamorphosis.
one shout, too, real quick.
course.
Shout out to this lovely logo hat right here.
No question.
Okay, BSO. I mean, good stuff, man. Be About It Designs, artist amazing, Brian Stallings. You're gonna see this everywhere.
Absolutely.
Also, shout out to Angelo Civitano. Okay, digital art, all the artwork on the album. And who am I forgetting? DJ SynQ. Oh my goodness, did half the production. I have
Absolutely.
to recognize that man.
Absolutely.
Breeze, Will, just Fever, everybody. Thank you for all of you guys watching and contributing. Yeah.
Juggernauts fam, Queen Herawin in the place.
Visual Caffeine.
The Metamorphosis.
BC. Thank you guys.
Y'all want to check that out.
Yeah, get it.
Concentrating. Eyes are closed. What happened?
I flinched.
You flinched. The gunshot holds no fear. Say it.
The gunshot holds no fear.
The gunshot holds no fear. Say it.
The gunshot holds no fear.
Louder.
The gunshot holds no fear.
Louder.
The gunshot holds no fear.
That's good. You welcome the sound. In fact, it's the sound that sets you free. You are a prisoner on this block until that sound sets you free. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you set?
Suffocating her, duct taping her up, fading her to what? Black like West, whatever's left. Flashing lights, it's getting thrashed, trash tonight. Trunk throwing her to the back burners. Sad flowers in the attic, tragic murderer. Sadistic, artistic, so gifted. The misses, bliss being bitten when spitting them verses. Hurting her, hursting her, shelving her bars. Like, yeah, Mike, fear of success might share. Be the story, toying with a glory. Shine, dime, Dorothy Dandridge, confined, mind mixing, slipping, she drifting away. We killing a video vixen today, maimed, no name, what a shame. It's all the same, aiming at the game's element could have you hella bent. So taming the brain is definitely evident. Return of the G, return of the me. Gorgeous, flaunting, G-O-D, B-E-S-S, oh yes, yes. Let me set myself free, the B-E-A-S-T. Return of the G, return of the me. Gorgeous, flaunting, G-O-D. D-E-S-S, oh yes, yes. Let me set myself free, the B-E-A-S-T. Your mojo, your soul glow. You ever get so close to the host that you could taste the meal? Feel the real, but instead of breaking the bread, you start to question it in your head. The voice of truth is proof, not a noose. So no use in killing yourself by not being you. Inside, build pride. Core, if explored, is probably red. So passionate, if it had a color. Dare to discover the inner self, inner wealth. Ready to stealth bomb, explode. All the wonderful are masses of folks that's big like black exposed. Let go, get green like get gold. Showing growth, sowing growth that you can't let go. Set goals, set those targets for conquest like who's next. Return of the G, return of the me. Gorgeous, flaunting, G-O-D, D-E-S-S, oh yes, yes. Let me set myself free, the B-E-A-S-T. Return of the G, return of the me. Gorgeous, flaunting, G-O-D, D-E-S-S, oh yes, yes. Let me set myself free, the B-E-A-S-T.
Would you say this was called a putrid stage?
Pupil stage.
Like a butterfly.
You're right. Right, this is a cocoon. Inside, it's going through changes. Lots of changes.
Like my mother.
No, that's different. This is called a metamorphosis. Change in form and in appearance. Metamorphosis.
Yo, check it out.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yo,
Go ahead, you lead it out.
Illuminati stole a blueprint from the mind of Marcus Garvey, leave my people clueless. I was born to be a winner, Freddie McGregor groove with. Stone love, intellectual, the masses move with. Got to screaming new-ish instead of exclusive, penning right on the spot. Cherish the gold and stir it in the pot. Wholesome gold and water the crops. I thought a lot of great things that rock, usually straight off the top. Word, we got Queen Herawin, live in the place, etc. Go back, yeah, it's not no medicine, nah, we don't do that. This is how we do rap.
Yeah.
Queen Hera,
I'm so
Metamorphosis.
excited. I'm ready to cut this man
the
off.
rawness.
Yeah, the rawness. Yo, recognize like Nas, your eyes surprised, cause the sky's behind this dime. We bonita, Samita for your speaker, eager to bust with mad personality like people born on a cusp. So bring it then. Ink from the pen, pump through my capillary like my residency is a den. Some dragon type, Adam hype, so Eve, apple from the tree, starting trouble. Can you conceive something so deep? If not, I'll dumb it down. So hot like underground, pipes busting, hummer trucks and bling bling, or your poppy chulo sting thing. Watch me rebirth this hip hop culture like Easter. So Playboy, Bunny and Spring fling. You bring out royal, monogamous, rockin' this, committed, locked in this like sing. So you think you ready? Then bring. I'm lethal, breaking egos like rough sex to G strings. Queen Hera, visual caffeine. Get caffeinated, y'all.
Word up.
Yeah.
They
are.
Yo, live in the place, visual caffeine. Live in the place, visual caffeine. JR, Queen Herawin, DJ Too Fast. Of course, we all gonna win. It's the triad. It's the joint like Bahamadia and the Roots. We do this different angles, acute, or the 90 degrees. We standing on our square. John Robinson here, Queen Herawin right there. Live and direct to live in your set. This is live interject. You can catch this on internet. VizCaf.com. We drop bombs on the regular places. Tie up your laces. Get back to basic skills, basic drills. This is how we do, yo, it goes on for real. Off the top of the brainstem, what should I say to them? I don't know, I maintain gems. Never mess up, I manifest stuff on a regular. Hit you with, oh man, where's my cellular? No time for calls right now, we bout freestyling, buck wildin'. From here to the X, this how we do. Break necks, back and forth. Yeah, you bop to it. Original, boom bap. They rock to it. Your Queen Herawin.
Boom bap.
Drop
the
to
boom
this.
Bap. I love it when the people clap up in the audience. You know how we do this. I could do this to an accordion or acapella. It doesn't matter. I love my fella. Dope dude. You know how I do it. I get rude. On some, let's see, Lady Saw. I get raw. Some straight, Big Daddy Kane. You know I stay slaying them. Out Off the top of the dome piece, I do it, I never cease. I try to bring peace to people like the circle with the triangle. You know, the figure in there. Yeah, you're not long hair, but I'm still foxy. You know how I do this.